Now it's time to be dangerous. Now it's time to get risky. Now it's time to truly find out what you're made of and what you could achieve. Now it's time to truly find out how many lives you can impact. Now it's time to find out what you were destined to become.
There it is.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Raw Minds. We are filming on a Saturday. We have a guest from across the way from the UK. The wild time zone difference. We're taking care of it on a Saturday. I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Eric.
And we are Raw Minds.
Yeah, we are, buddy. And this is our very first international guest, man.
Yeah.
So
big things, buddy.
Very big things. So thank you for, being a part of this, man. I just want to say thank you. Everybody else, thank you for being a part of this. This is huge. We're growing so fast, like we were saying earlier. We've gotten our YouTube starting to blow up really big. Our Instagram, Facebook, we want to push that a little bit too. We want to be everywhere. We want to be everywhere.
Yeah. So if you could just drop us a follow on any social media platform at Raw Minds Podcast, we would greatly appreciate that. And like I know we touch on it kind of every time about how we're doing things in the background and stuff, but buddy, we've been on the computer today for like 4 or 5 hours already.
Yeah, man.
Putting in work in.
Yeah. Pushing hard.
Yeah. We genuinely do have some stuff coming up, and we are seriously working on a giveaway to show some appreciation to you guys. So please just be patient. We are working that stuff out, and we will get that ball rolling once we have some definite answers on some certain things. Just as a thank you for you guys supporting us. And I just kind of want to touch, before we bring the guests on, I just kind of want to touch on the thing that you and I talked about after last episode with Peter. Like as the host, like every guest that we have on, like, is a big deal for us. We get super excited about having the guests on. We love it. Like, it's a big deal. Every guest that we have, like, they are a big deal to us. But after last episode, I kind of had a moment where, like, the script had flipped for me, and it was like I never understood or realized like how big of a deal it is for you guys that we're here too. So just for everybody out there, every guest we've had, every follower, every listener, every viewer, I just want to like just say how much we genuinely and sincerely appreciate you guys supporting us the way that you do, because ego just tells me that, like, like I'm nobody special to anybody else. Like, I'm just me, and like these people are a big deal to us, but like sometimes we lose sight of the fact that like we too can be a big deal to you guys. So I just want to say thank you for all your support. No matter how you support us, we just genuinely appreciate it.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Thank you, my man.
On top of that, man, I just want to say happy birthday too to my little girl. She turns 11 on Tuesday. So
yes,
she will be 11 when this comes out, man. So 11 years of being a dad, man. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. I know my daughter's going to be 10 next month, and it's just like, man, I feel like 10 years ago I was in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, I lived in Alberta in 2012 to 2015. That was 10 years ago. That doesn't feel like 10 years ago.
That's crazy, right?
Time flies, man. Yeah, time flies.
Well, we have a guest here. He's in the back room right now, and we're excited to bring him out. He's got his own Discord helping people. He's got a TikTok, and he writes mental health songs on Spotify. So those will be all in the description. You guys can check it out. Played a song for us, and fuck, was it awesome, man. Great song.
Absolutely.
So let's bring out our David, our mental health warrior.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy. Hey, welcome to Raw Minds.
Welcome, man.
Yeah, great to be here. First and foremost, happy birthday to your daughter. So
thank you.
I've got a daughter myself. She's 14, so I know how hard it is being a dad. So just happy birthday to your daughter, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks. I'm gonna show her this on Friday, man. So she'll appreciate that definitely.
Good.
When it comes out.
Daddy said he'll buy you loads of presents.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, you under
She's
the
going.
bus there.
She's going horseback riding here after this is done, so
Nice.
it's gonna be good. Yeah. So, I mean, you got a bunch of stuff going on here. I would love
Yeah.
to touch on that before we get in and everything, man. Just to tell the audience what you do for the community out there.
Okay, so my name's David. I go formerly by the Mental Health Warrior on TikTok. I run a mental health group, so we deal with, depression, anxiety, all the way up to, we've got members that have BPD, split personality, a lot of self-harming and things like that. So we're constantly on the go with like crisis calls and getting in touch with obviously like emergency services, getting them the right help when needed to. So we've been going for 8 months, I think, as a team. I originally started back in November on TikTok, just going in and just sharing positivity and obviously messages of hope and that. And then I started growing. I got involved with a mental health team there. I started helping out in the background there, and then obviously I decided, well, I'm not doing it. They were doing it for not the wrong reasons, but the right, not the right reasons, should I say? Then I found another group, which is another group on here, the TBK. I was working with them for a little while, but then we decided that obviously they were going to go and do their thing. So that's when I decided, do you know what? I've got some friends on here. We're all coming from the right background, so let's just see where this goes. And 8 months now, we've got 120 members in the Discord that we help every single day. And it's not just myself that does that. I've got an amazing admin team. So obviously we've got Sarah, who runs the Discord, because I work a full-time job. She runs the Discord and we call her the eye. She sees absolutely everything and things like. We've got Kaylee, my partner Stacey, Emily, and a couple of others as well that are all just about obviously just giving up their free time and helping them. We don't charge for this service or anything like that. We actively just do it, obviously, just because we've all been through it. We've all been through it. We all care, so yes, that's what we do.
That's awesome. And then you got
That's
songs
amazing.
too, right? You got
So obviously I've struggled myself, like where I was 10 years ago to where I am now is a completely different person. I was an addict. I was obviously depressed. I had a lot of like childhood trauma, which I'd never sort of dealt with. And then when my father died a couple of years ago, I sort of went on a healing journey, a rebirth. People quit a rebirth and things like that. So just like I started focusing on myself, bettering myself as a human being, and what I'd done was a lot of writing. So I'd write some music, like poems. They never turned out to be songs until obviously I started sort of trying to focus that. And when my dad passed, I sort of wrote saying for him, which was "Remember You," which is quite a popular one that makes a lot of people cry.
Yeah, I think that's the one they played for us, I believe.
No, I think that was Warrior that I played for you.
Warrior. That's
yes,
right.
that's what
Warrior.
it was.
That's right.
Which is a mental health one. Remember You is all about my dad. Like just it's about a lost loved one, remembering a lost loved one and stuff. So, but that's when I started writing other bits and bobs, and I'm all out of songs now though, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But
you're killing it, man. Those songs
Absolutely.
are amazing, and you guys check them out. It'll be in the description below. So
yeah, I mean, we've just it was about a week ago. I think I've released the full album now. So there was a few songs, but I've now got 13 songs on there. There's a couple of obviously ones about loss, a couple about obviously mental health, and then there's a couple of ones that are for my partner that I wrote, some lovey-dovey ones. So
that's
including
awesome.
the proposal song that I surprised her with at Christmas. So
I was just
Amazing.
gonna say that, man. That you just proposed to her. So
Yes,
congratulations.
I
To
did,
both
yeah.
of you.
So yeah, obviously I had help with my friend he writes songs and creates music and stuff like that as well. He helped me with it, and then for 6 months, sort of secretly recording videos and placing the ring in plain sight and stuff like that. And she didn't have a clue about it until I showed her this video, which is on my TikTok. So
check it out, everybody. Then check it out, Mental Health Warrior on TikTok. Check out the video and show some support and give them some love.
there you go. Thank you.
Well, I'd love to jump into your story, man, and you know where you started, and then we'll end off of where you are.
Yeah. So where do you want me to start? So I was.
It's all you, man. This is your story, brother.
Story.
So,
Yeah. So normal sort of child. Well, up to sort of like 5, I would say was a normal childhood, happy childhood. Mum and dad give me everything I'd want. You know, love, affection. Christmas time, I was spoiled. You know, at 7, it sort of turned. Obviously, I was sexually abused by an uncle, and it sort of messed with me for a while. My nan died, obviously growing up about 13, so I struggled with that a little bit.
mhm.
And then I sort of got into my late teens. Obviously, I was at school. I was always in trouble. I'd lash out and stuff like that because obviously I was messed up in the head a little bit. And I never spoke to anyone about it. I never opened up. I never spoke to mum or dad or anyone like that.
Was it because you thought, like a lot of people that we talk to, you know, a lot of people think like
I was confused. I was embarrassed. I felt weak.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I got excluded from school for lashing out and headbutting a teacher. And then I got into my young adult life where obviously I found alcohol and other bits and bobs. So class A drugs, you know, cocaine and things like that. And I'd use it.
Was it affecting you heavily? Like the addiction
as an
side
adult,
of it?
yeah. Once I sort of turned 17, 18, yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was drinking, doing a lot of drugs, and it weren't because I enjoyed it. I mean, like the next morning, I'd beat myself up about it. Like, why have you done this? Why have you done that? Why are you doing it? You know, questioning myself. But then I'd go and get another hit or take another drink. Do you know what I mean? So just to quiet the mind, you know. I've got ADHD as well, which I was unmedicated for. So I was just a wreck, absolute wreck. And it got to the point where, you know, it cost me my first marriage. You know, there was other factors involved, but obviously I wasn't probably the best human to be married to at the time. You know, I'd go off on a bender for 3, 4, 5 days at a time. You know, come back in an absolute state, and then just blow it off like nothing had happened. You know, and that was because.
Did you meet your partner when you were like dealing with all these issues? Like, was this before it really hit hard?
My first wife, I met her while I was going through shit, but again, I'd mask it. I'd act like nothing, you know, the big I am, and nothing was wrong.
You definitely don't want to show all your cards up at first, right?
No,
you keep those ones in your back pocket. And when your experience in that aspect, like the addiction thing, it's the exact same as mine, man. And like I used to do, I can't remember. I've had this conversation, but I can't remember if it was on here. But did you like? When you were out on your benders, did you just like disappear for like 3 or 4 days and then just like walk back into the house and act like you haven't been gone for 3 days?
Yeah.
And you just walk in and expect nobody to think any different, just like, oh, hey. No, like, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah, it became the norm. I mean, you know, the first sort of 6, 7 years of marriage, you know, a couple of times it happened then, but towards the end it was happening more prevalent and more, you know, happening more and more because obviously I was really struggling with it, and that it then led to, obviously, our marriage ending. Obviously we've got a daughter together as well, so obviously I'd go off and leave my daughter at home with her mum, and I'd be off out for days, and you know, and I really hate that I've done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
Did you did your partner have any substance abuse as well, or
No,
it was okay?
she's teetotal. She drinks, but she doesn't. She wouldn't drink until like it was an occasion or something like that. So,
Yeah.
um,
I'm just saying because a lot of times, hurt people, right? And
yeah,
also
yeah.
when
I
you're
mean, I
in
wouldn't,
that,
I wouldn't, I wouldn't reflect. I wouldn't physically hurt her in a way, but me acting like I was and going out and not showing that
that's
I
what I
care,
mean. Yeah,
was destroying myself,
yeah,
not spending time at home with her, and obviously Lacey and that would it,
yeah. Don't get me wrong. I
it's gonna
wasn't
hurt
saying
her.
you're coming home and throwing punches, but I mean just that
Yeah,
your actions, like not showing
Yeah.
up for a couple days,
yeah.
stuff like that.
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
yeah. I think that was sort of the point where she started obviously doing what she was doing, started seeing people, and while
Yeah,
I was off out and things like that.
yeah,
And I blame her, but I don't blame her at the same. I can't blame her because
yeah,
I was an absolute arsehole.
yeah.
So, um,
Can I just stop you there for 1 sec,
yeah,
David? Can I give you my experience with that? Because
yeah,
again, my experience was the exact same. I'm not with my children's mother. We have an outstanding relationship now, just the both of us. Like we work together as an amazing team. But I did the 12-step route, right? Like that's how I got clean and sober. So I applaud you for doing it your way because I completely understand the cycle. You use and you drink, and then you wake up and you hate yourself. So you use and you drink so that you don't hate yourself, and then you're gone for days on end, and then you just hate yourself. And it's an insane and difficult thing to break out of.
yeah,
But my experience with the relationship part, because I talked about it in my episode last year, so there's a lot of details that I leave out because I don't want to throw shade on her because I do love her as the mother of my children and I have the utmost respect for her. But what I had to understand was I only knew my side of that relationship, right? I didn't know her side. And I hated myself enough, you know what I mean? Knowing what I was doing. I didn't understand her side at the time. But what I realized after doing the work that I did through the 12 steps was I was so selfish and so self centered that I didn't care for her. I didn't care for my daughter. I didn't care for my son. I did whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it with no regard to her wants, her needs, her emotions, how it was going to affect her. So I had to understand that the delusion that I was living in was causing so much pain and suffering in her that her only logical solution to break free from that toxic relationship that was her and I was to seek comfort somewhere else because she felt no safety where she was. So she found it in somebody else.
yeah,
It's an unfortunate event. I don't condone her behavior, but I completely understand why she did it. And this is just my experience. This isn't me talking about you. This is just mine. Like there was so much pain and suffering on her end of things that I wasn't aware of. And you know what? This was almost 4 years ago. And there's still instances that I see that stuff come up in her emotional responses to certain things that I say or do, and like nothing negative, just like as the father of her children. Like, for example, there's this show on Prime that the kids like watching, and we stayed up late the other night to watch it, and she gave me shit. She's like, "You have no structure at your house." I was like, hold on a second. Like, this is a thing that the kids and I do here. We watch this show. Thursday night was a busy night, but you know what? If they want to watch the show with me, I'm going to let them watch the show with me. It's not like we're up till 10 o'clock on a school night every night. You know what I mean? It's just, this is one thing that we do with the kids. But it was an emotional response based off of our past together. And that's why she lashed out. But I have the ability now, after working through everything that I've worked through, to be able to step back from that and not react back. I can stand my ground, request the respect that I deserve, and hold a safe and healthy boundary with her, but also understand that she's not doing that to piss me off. She's doing that as an emotional response to a trigger that I've caused in my
yeah,
past.
It's almost like
So
PTSD.
that's exactly it.
Yeah,
That's exactly it, right? So
yeah,
I understand your situation very well because it is the exact same one that I
yeah,
ended up in, right?
yeah.
well,
Obviously, you went through like the 12-step. Um,
Yeah.
so with me, what happened was obviously it got to a point where um, I quit. I quit the snap. Where you just go, you're gone. And
mhm.
I
See red.
tried to. yeah, I tried to kill myself. Obviously, I took myself off to a bridge, and like my mum was on the phone to me, and she was in Australia at the time, because that's where my mum lives, because obviously we've got family from that side of the world as well. So yeah, my mum's
Can I touch on something? What was the breaking point to push you to want to do that? Was it
it
your
was
own self battling
so
your own
obviously
stuff?
I moved out of the house. So it was the marriage ending. Obviously, she broke it off.
Yeah.
I moved out. Also, I was trying to fight for that again, and it was like door slammed in my face, and that was it. It was just,
Mm-hmm.
it just went gone. You know, I was like, well, I'm no good to anyone. I failed as a father. I failed as a husband.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing here? What am I doing here? You know, and I'm just going to go and jump off this bridge, you know. And like my mum was on the phone, panic. The police come. I ended up assaulting a police officer, knocking a police officer out, threw one down the road, and then
Were you intoxicated at the time?
I was high. I was so high. Yeah, I was off my face. I was on top of this bridge, and I was ready to go, and there were police underneath the bridge. One of them was trying to talk to me. I had two on either side of me, and it was, you know, I was focused on the one on the floor, because that's where I was going. You know,
Yeah.
I was down, I was looking, and I couldn't hear anything. I was sort of zoned in on him, and he was talking to me, and he just said to me, "Look, listen, mate, I know what you got. You know, I know what you're going through. You know, don't do it though." He says, like, I know I'm going to sound selfish here now, but if you jump, I'm going to have to try and catch you. You know, I've got a family at home. I've got a daughter at home. You know, you're a big guy. You land on me, you're going to hurt me. You know, and I thought, fucking hell. Like, you know, I don't want to hurt anyone else. And that's what got me off the bridge.
That was the turning point for you.
So
he saved your life.
I mean, he came into the hospital with me, obviously, because they took me to the mental health unit. Oh, sorry, I'll keep me stand there. The mental health unit, and then come back and visit the following days, and obviously said that, but obviously the police officer that I assaulted, he said, you've broke his jaw. But he's not going to press charges purely because obviously we know what you're going through. You're having a really hard time at the minute. So I was very lucky I didn't catch a case there.
You got a fucking get out of jail free card there, buddy.
Definitely.
His name. So the policeman that comes to see me, his name's Shane. He's a good friend of mine. I speak to him time to time.
Can I just say? Can I just give a shout out to Shane, man? We appreciate you for really being there for
mine. So yeah, I was in the mental health unit. I got the right sort of. They were pointing me to obviously like addiction advice and stuff like that. I didn't go. Obviously, I come back out, and I would still sort of dabble. I mean, when your friends are drug dealers, it's going to happen. You're going to dabble. You're going to be here and there. So it led sort of up to nearly 3 years now when my dad died. So when my dad died, it hit me really, really hard. And it was, obviously I've got some inheritance from that. And the first thing I'd done was go and buy an ounce of cocaine. And I just, within a week it had gone, and that's a lot to do in a week. It got to the point where I'd been up probably 4 or 5 days, hadn't slept, haven't eaten, haven't drinking, and I was hallucinating that my dad was in the room with me playing the Xbox. We were playing Tiger Woods, I think it was, golf. We used to play it all the time together when he lived with me, when he was alive. And had me running around the house doing all bits and bobs. It was surreal. And then I sort of lost feeling in my hand, and I was like, "What the fuck's that?" And I thought, I better go and get that checked out, because my dad had heart problems and things like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously that started worming its way into my head and things like that. And then the doctor said, "You're fine. Your heart's strong. There's nothing wrong with your heart. But obviously your blood results, we can see why you're like this, and you need to stop, because you're going to end up killing yourself, especially with the levels that were in my system."
Mhm.
And I think that was the wake up point. I thought, fucking hell, because I was still seeing my daughter, and like, so when I'd have my daughter, I wouldn't be doing anything. But then obviously, as soon as she got, like, she was gone, I was on the chase again. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
bear with me 1 sec. My partner's little boy just walked in. I was had to pause for a sec.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no
that's
worries,
fine,
man.
man. No problem.
Yeah, so I kind of, that was a wake up call for me, and sort of from there, that done, I knocked it on the head, Then I'd, like, obviously my dad's like, this is all in the space of like months. Like it took nearly 3 months to bury my dad, because obviously there was a big inquest into why he died and autopsies and stuff like that.
This is through the COVID times too. You said about 3 years ago, right?
About
So it's
it was
just
3 years ago, so it was just
yeah,
after the lockdowns and stuff like that.
the
So
tail end of it. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's about 2 years, 2.5 years, I think, actually. So,
Okay.
so May's going to be 3 years, I do believe.
I just want to say my condolences to your
Mhm.
father, man. I just
Yeah,
want to
definitely.
put that
Thank
out
you, it
there.
means a lot. He's very, very special man. So yeah, that was sort of the wake up point at his funeral. I had to give a speech about how wonderful he was and how much I miss him and things like that. And I got drunk the night of the funeral, and that was the last time I used, was the night of his funeral. After the funeral, and then the next morning, I woke up and I just started. That's when I started like writing things, like writing how I was feeling. I started researching different, obviously, like, ways to cope with grief, and obviously like me depression and stuff like that. I got put on antidepressants, and then I just started writing, and just writing my feelings down. That turned into writing down, like little poems and stuff like that. I've got loads of like poems that no one's ever read. Some of them are really dark. Some of them are, trying to be quite quirky and funny, because I think I'm a funny guy and I try to make them, funny and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then that I suppose that's where I started writing a remembrance song for him. That's "Remember You," which is a great song.
Yeah.
Not to blow my own trumpet, but yeah, I mean, I can't sing a note. I get the computer to sing it for me, but the words are mine. So, but then so I started obviously looking at different aspects of mental health and bits and bobs like that. I've done a mental health first aider course, so I can deal with someone in a crisis, because I was thinking to myself, fuck me, if that policeman weren't there, who's obviously had mental health training, or the professionals weren't there to help me when I was at the mental health unit, what the fuck would I have done?
Yeah.
So if I can sort of try and learn bits and bobs to try and help someone else, the world's a better place. Another person that can try and help someone, and that's what I've done. And then obviously I spent 6 months obviously doing bits and bobs around mental health, getting some qualifications in that, like my mental health first aider and stuff.
I just want to stop you there. So when you're going through all this, did you have a support group, or you were just doing it
No.
pretty much on your own?
It was just me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean, when I was
tough,
going
man.
really for it, I had like family trying to help, friends were trying to help. I push them away, again, it's the whole man thing, masking, and, just, no, I'll be all right. I'm just stop dramatizing it, but, once my dad had passed and I'd started learning, started trying to deal with stuff, going to the doctors, getting the medication for my depression, it sort of, I started opening up to letting people in and speaking about it and things like that. But yeah, no, I had no support group, no drug support or anything like that. That was, because I didn't want it.
Is that why you built this empire that you're building? Is that why? Because
I wouldn't say it was an empire,
buddy, man, it's your empire, man. You know what I mean? It's your empire, bro. Don't look down on that shit.
I wouldn't say it was an empire. I'd say it was a family. We're a family.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. I met my wife. I met my wife on TikTok. So I got TikTok all to thank for that. Well, she's not my wife yet.
We're well on the way. Come on.
Yeah, we are. We went and looked
Tinder,
at venues
eat your heart out, man. It's all about the TikTok.
Yeah.
Tinder, eat your heart out.
We went and looked at venues and everything today. Pricey, I'm telling you. Look, you know, obviously, we do all this TikTok stuff and the Discord stuff all for free. But at this rate, at how much a weddings cost, I might have to start charging a monthly premium to the followers. No, I'm joking. I'd never do that. I'd never profiteer off anyone's mental health.
Yeah.
Good
for you.
So I started it sort of March time. I'd probably say March, April time. No, it was around March, February time, wasn't it? February time, because we'd done our first fundraiser in March for Mind, when it the 29th of March last year.
And Lewis Capaldi, don't
Yeah. So we obviously, and that's what we do now. So we're on TikTok. You know, there's times where I'll get called into a live because someone's really in a really bad state. You know, it's happened quite a few. You know, that's what I'm known for now on the app, to go in and get someone off a live and speak to them privately, you know, away from all the prying eyes, and just get them in that safe space and try and help them.
Well, especially there too, like you got all the trolls sometimes, you know, and
exactly,
it can just be dangerous.
I mean, there was this one time, before the group started. Again, I won't say usernames or anything like that. There was a lady in Scotland. She was on a bridge. You know, she was on the live. You could see how high up she was. You know, she was intoxicated, and you know, very similar to what I was a few years back. And so I went in and I just jumped up in the box, and I was just like, look, you know, is there a number that I can call you on? Is there anything I can do to just come off the live? Don't pay attention to none of the comments. You know, just come off the live and come and speak to me. You know, and you know, thankfully she did. You know, and I got her off the bridge that night. And, you know, I've had people up on window ledges. You know, people. You know, we've had people slitting their throats, and you know, just it's unreal. Unfortunately, like the mental health system over here is absolutely fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this is why we build these communities and help each other, right?
Yeah,
because
I mean,
they're not doing it, we have to.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for teams like you know, my group, or you know, there's a friend of mine on the app called Mr. K, his group, they do some bits and bobs, you know, to help with mental health. They've got their own Discord, they've got their own, you know, he does like sort of similar like this, but on TikTok, where he'll have people to share their journey, and then it will obviously get them in a safe space. And that, you know, if it weren't for people, you know, like us, I wouldn't like to think where the world would be, you know. But they're not the only ones. There are a lot of people out there that are doing good work, but unfortunately, again, the app is so toxic. You know, when I'm in that live, you've got people going, "Oh, go on, then jump." You know, you see the comments, "Go on, just jump off." That's someone's life, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it sickens me. I mean, even like people on bridges, like over where I live, we got a bunch of bridges. There'll be jumpers on the bridges. And people will be driving by and be like, jump. Like, it's ridiculous. That's someone's mother or son or daughter or father or child. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, what if that was one of your family members doing that? Do you think you're going to drive by the bridge and tell them to jump? Like, it's ridiculous. Exactly.
But that's the world we live in now, you know. A lot of people can hide behind this technology and hide behind these screens, and, you know, they're open to watching someone die now. You know, I suppose it shows on TV and technology, and you know, you don't know who's behind an account anymore. You know, but there's always ways of finding out. If I ever find anyone talking like that to any of my followers, God, I'd hunt them down.
Well, I just personally find that. Sorry, you go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's like a lot of these people have like that video game mentality where, like, you know, they'll just reborn again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, they don't really see the real life shit. Like, that person is gonna die. They're never gonna come back. You know what I mean? You know, it fucking sickens me, man. It just fucking sickens me.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like social media has made everything so superficial that it's removed the genuine connection out of a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because this screen that we're doing exactly what we're doing right now removes that level of connection. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, we're all here for the same fucking reason, right? So we understand this, but in situations like that, David, where you're on someone's live, the people who are saying that stupid shit, they don't feel that connection to that person. because
No.
there's a fucking
Right.
screen separating them. You
No,
think
I
those
think-
people would say those types of things when they're actually standing beside the person on the bridge? You think they're going to be like, oh, fucking jump? Or when you're driving away, there's been just such a, even though we are so connected in society now, we have never been more disconnected as a society.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's everybody's got phones, right? And everybody's
Yep.
just either doom scrolling or looking at their phone all night. Man, I mean, we need social media because that's what we run our platform on, definitely. But I mean, there's you gotta have what's the word? Fuck, it's just on the tip of my tongue. Variations or what? Not variation, but you know what I mean. Moderations. There we go. You got to
Yeah.
do it in
Mhm.
moderations, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
It's destroying this world.
So
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's where he started, really, sort of 8 months ago, 8, 9 months ago. Yeah, just and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for the the people that I've got involved with, and especially again, I big up my mods all the time, like the admin in the team. You got Sarah, Kaylee, Mama Bear. We call Sarah Mama Bear or the Mama Bear, Kaylee, Stacey, my partner. Colin gets involved a lot. He's obviously he's a lovely fella. He's going to be my best man at my wedding.
Awesome.
amazing.
Wicked.
We're a little family.
Yeah, we are a family. Absolutely, we're a
That's
family,
good, man.
and then the members as well. I mean, it takes how brave some of them are. Some of the stuff that they go through or have to deal with is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And all we try to do is support them, try and find a solution if we can. I mean, like Sarah, we've had a jump on a train to an hour or two away to go and sit with someone in hospital because they can't sit there because on their own because of anxiety and stuff.
Mhm.
But Sarah will do that. She'll move mountains to try and help someone. She's literally like the female version of me. She's brilliant. Absolutely
Shout
love
out
her
to
to bits.
Sarah. Shout out
Yeah.
to Sarah. Thank
Shout
you
out to
for
all
the
of
work
them,
you're doing.
man.
All of them.
All
exactly.
of you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm trying to think of how to verbalize what I'm thinking. Just being able to, like, when you tell your story, David, in my mind, it's like you knew exactly what you were looking for and what you wanted and needed in your life. You couldn't find it, so you said, fuck it, I'll build it. And you
Mhm.
found very like-minded people, and you all came together for the same purpose. And when you have a family, if that's what you choose to call it, an army, if you will, whatever you want to call it, that purpose becomes so much greater. You know what I mean? So not just to you, but to your entire family and your entire team. I applaud all of you guys for what you're doing because I know from my own experience in the things that I do, nothing fills my cup more than doing things with a purpose
Yeah.
that has and a selfless purpose. You know what I mean?
I mean,
That-
what we've achieved just in the 8 months is so we've raised probably I'd want to say £1,500 for charities, various of charities for mental health. Yeah, that's a lot. Not £1,100. What was it? About £14,000.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good for you
£14,000, not 1,400. £14,000 for different charities. With like just in December, just through our community, not the family, not outsiders. Normally we put on events and raise money, and with singers. Because I'm now in the sort of the music side of TikTok with some creators, and I get them to come in, and we'll put on like this great show. Full of singing and undiscovered talent, and all the gifts from that would go to a selected charity, which obviously we keep all the receipts we show for every bit of money that's raised and where it goes and things like that. So we've done things like that. We've got 31 Christmas presents, like package, not like a present, but packages. Different packages for children in hospital over Christmas. 31 children. Was it 31? Or was it 33?
31, I think.
31, I think it was 31. 31 packages, with activity books, toys, sweets and things like that, just to put a smile on their face for Christmas, because they're in a
That's
sucky place
amazing.
for the Christmas period.
Definitely.
And that was
Yeah.
just the little group while we're live. People sending gifts. I'd save that, I'd collect that, and then that's what we've done with the money. Like next in March, I'm hosting a talent show. This ain't to raise money. This is just a short sort of give back to the TikTok music side of the undiscovered talents for their heart. Like, they come in, they sing for us. So I'm putting on this talent show where I'm trying to get like a celebrity to come in and be one of the judges. I'm trying to get another big creator as a judge, and then we're going to give them it's not a lot, £100, but that's my own money, just to the winner of that talent show,
Yeah.
and then straight after that, no doubt, we'll be into fundraising mode for another charity, and help try and release some of the pressure of that charity. Ideally, what we want to do when we're, as we're growing and, getting more behind us, is I want to be able to turn what we've got into a charity and then give someone a place to go. I want to open up my own, let's say like a respite centre, somewhere to go and just relax and just take 5 minutes, and come in, have trained professionals there, trained therapists. We've got therapists within the group at the moment that will do therapy work with
A
the
safe
members.
space, technically.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
a safe
we
space.
I want to create that as bricks and mortar, so someone can physically come in, have something to eat, have something to drink, and be able just to speak to someone. When you're depressed, when I was going through things, I'd lay in bed for 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. I won't get up. I
Fucking
won't
right,
wash.
man.
Yeah, man.
When someone's, but if you've got a place where someone goes, I might go there. There's someone that's going to just sit there and just be with me and listen to me. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to get something to drink.
Like sometimes all you need is like someone just to sit there and listen. Like when my fiance passed away, I've said this multiple times on other episodes. When my fiance passed away, Joey, our old co-host, he just would come over every day after work. He would come over and he wouldn't say a word. He would just sit right beside me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would talk to him, or sometimes we'd just sit there for hours, and wouldn't say a word. But I just needed that, I guess you could say, vibration of the person.
Someone just to hold space. That's what we talked about with Kelly, was holding space.
Holding space. And you know what? And that's we were sitting there, and this is how this podcast started. We're sitting there, and then I think like after a week of him being there, I just turned to him and said, I want to do a podcast on men's mental health. I want to help other men and show support. And then here we are now.
And you're going international now. What the fuck?
International, bro. Actually, I have to say too, also, we just hit India, and there was another country. Oh man, Indonesia.
Oh,
yeah. So that's new to Anthony. I forgot to tell you that, man. So there you go.
I mean, we've been talking for 6 fucking hours today, and you neglected to mention it once, but that's fine.
You saved me something special.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to say, David, when we're done filming this, stay on for a little bit, and we'll have a discussion off air of everything, because I feel like a lot of the things we're doing could align with a lot of the things you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So maybe we can work something out there.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
And then also, when you do start raising money for whatever charity or event or whatever you're doing, please, man, let us know. We will post that all over our socials so we can get some traffic towards you too, man, because we at Raw Minds definitely support what you're doing. This is why you're here. You're on our show, man. We really do support what you're doing.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, we did have a discussion about maybe like a mental health charity for ex-veterans and things like that.
That's a great idea.
So that we're going to start looking at, that'll be sort of after March. So, but yeah, it will be. Be going to fundraiser mode where I might pop up on your screen dressed as a woman. You never know with me. Yeah,
I think. Didn't you? Weren't you doing that? You had something like that. Maybe last month or something. I saw you on TikTok and I stopped in. You're doing like you're dressed up karaoke, doing dressed. You do like these little things. Right?
I mean, my lives are very random. Again, I've got ADHD, so my brain might think it's a great idea, but I know it's not. So, I fucking run with it. And that's how Davina was born. Her name's Davina. Yeah, I mean, me and Colin last podcast. The October one. Yeah, we started off dressed up in suits, but we obviously had the gear underneath and that, and we done like pretending we were going to do like a little strip and that, and then the music would skip, and man, I feel like a woman come on, and we dressed up as a woman. So he ended up getting banned. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Really?
It was so funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I popped in there that one time, and I was excited to share, but yeah, I was like, I think you were singing or something like that. I think it was around Christmas time, and you had a little
I think
thing
that was
going.
where we were just, I'd do squeaky karaoke or
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
I can't sing, so I whack the voice changer on and things like that, and do like Alvin and the Chipmunks karaoke style, and ruin everyone's favourite songs because that's what I like to do.
Yeah. Check him out, guys. I mean, he's got some great content. What he does and what he does back to the community, man. It's amazing. I mean, like he says, the Screech singing there. Where I watched a bit of it. I was laughing. I was having a good time, man. It's good, man. You're it's love. It's what you're doing.
I try to be entertaining. I do try, but
it comes too from a great place in your heart. You know what I mean? And it's just pure
has
love.
A purpose. That's
100%, man.
A selfless purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because it's where I've been, and I now appreciate the just the little things in life. Again, like I'm fully recovered from all the stuff. I've dealt with it. I've put it to bed. I've dealt with it emotionally. I've had the right balance to my life now. And now I've got like a beautiful fiance. Beautiful home, and we're planning on having our own child, and we've got the wedding coming up. And if you told me that 5 years ago, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have, fuck that. Let's go. But now I'm loving life, absolutely loving it, and I appreciate life so much now. And I think like everyone just needs to just stop for a minute, take a breath. Catch your breath on that, and just reevaluate where you are, and just if you want something, go for it. And I absolutely love life, and I'm buzzing at the minute. I can't wait. Can't wait for the next 10 years.
Me and Eric literally had a very similar conversation earlier today. We were just on the phone, and I just said to him, I was like, if you would have asked me 5 years ago where I would have ended up in life, it sure as shit wouldn't be where the fuck I am now. I would have been happy enough just not doing what I was doing in life. Like not including being a host on a podcast, not including doing the stuff that we don't really have that much to say about right now. But you know what I mean? Like advocating for mental health. Like I would have been happy without all that and just having my kids in my own life,
Yeah.
But the more that I do in this type of field, and I know you get it too. Like the more things I do with a purpose, the better it gets. And it's not just here. It's like everywhere. Like what I do here emulates or like radiates into every aspect of my life. It makes me a better father because I've had conversations with people like you who understand how I felt in the past, and like it reminds me to stay present with my children when I have my children. It reminds me to be grateful for the little things in my life. Like it's just, I would even say like, fuck the 5 years ago, a year ago. If you would have asked me where I would have been a year from, if you asked me where I'd be a year from today, I don't have a fucking clue anymore, because it doesn't matter, because within fucking 8 months, it's going to be something better than what I think I want it to be right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. Ideally, I'd want this respite centre and things like that. But for now, I'm just,
Can I change it? Can I change it? Don't say I want. Say I will have. I will.
I will. Yeah, we'll have this centre. But for now, I'm just an idiot on TikTok that goes into people's lives and tries to help them along. With not just me, but the family behind me, picking them up and just try and help as much as we, we'll change the world one soul at a time if we have to, and we'll change the system by helping one person at a time if we have to. It's going to get to a point where, we'll get the numbers behind us and hopefully somehow make a change. It's going to be a lot of hard work, believe me, but I'm determined. I don't. If I can just stop one person feeling how I felt when I was on that bridge, I'm happy. And I've done that now probably. Oh, I've lost count how many times I've had to talk someone off a bridge or anything like that. And I'm happy. But from where do we go from there? I don't know yet, but
you can never have enough of that. You know what I mean? You can never have enough of that.
It's so fulfilling. I mean, I come off and I'm buzzing. I'm not. Yes, save one.
Yeah.
It's some work and hospitals can't do. Yeah, it's it is very frustrating when that happens. So my partner's just said it gets frustrating when we put in all this hard work. We I've talked someone off a bridge, for instance. Yeah. We've got them to go to the hospital because obviously they're in a mental health breakdown where they've just tried to kill themselves, and the hospital go home, have a cup of tea, jump in the bath, try and ground yourself. No, come on, we've got again. I won't say names or anything like that, but we've got members that we've had picked up from the hospital, picked up and taken to hospital for injuries or whatever. We'll say injuries. And they'll stitch them up and send them back home. Like, how many times does that have to happen? Or, how severe does it have to be until they get them that help? I can tell you when it is when they go to that person's house and find them dead. And then it's too late.
That I was going to bring up, that is exactly what happened to one of my friends. So he was in the hospital. He didn't tell anybody. He was in the hospital for a couple of days because he was trying to unlive himself, and they let him go. They didn't really give him the help, and he went home. That week he threw a party at his house. I wish I went because I would have got to see him, but he threw a party at his house and he had everybody there, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, everybody, time to go. I'm gonna go to sleep. And he kicked everybody out of his house. 2 days later, his friend didn't hear from him, came over to his house and found him with a zap strap around his neck. He choked himself out. It
was his way of, she's goodbye party.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But he didn't. He didn't reach out. He didn't tell anybody.
People that one last time.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. He didn't reach out and tell his favorite people. He tried to do it where the hospital. He tried to, and they just probably gave him some medication, watched him for a couple days, and then see you later. You're fine. I bet you that's exactly. I don't know personally, but that's probably pretty much what happened.
You're
then
not
sent him on his way. Yeah,
you're not far off. I had my own experience in 2021, in March of 2021, before I went to treatment. 24 hours before I went to treatment, I was in the hospital on a crisis intervention. And I remember I was talking with the crisis counselor. He was extremely helpful. Then the doctor comes in. I can't remember what he gave me. Some anti-anxiety med and a sleeping pill. He's like, take these and head home. And I lost it on the doctor. I said, I'm sorry, but I feel like if I don't tell you when and where and how I'm going to do it, you're just going to send me home and tell me to get a good night's sleep. And that's when the crisis intervention stepped in. The crisis counselor stepped back in and he's like, listen, I will get you a bed here tonight. If you genuinely don't feel safe enough to go home, I will make sure you have a bed here. But if you leave this hospital, I can't help you anymore. And if it wasn't for that man, I wouldn't be here because he understood and he took the time to make sure that I was safe enough.
Yeah, I say this all the time. I mean, you get these mental health doctors or, nurses that will just read from a script or read from their textbook about, the advice, help, support, or whatever. You'll only find that you've got a really good mental health nurses with someone that's actually been through it themselves.
Yeah.
Because they fucking get it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm still training. I'm still doing bits and bobs to get some more qualifications. And that's what I want to do when, in a few years' time, maybe look at becoming like a fully trained therapist or something like that. Because I'll understand it. I've been on both sides then, and you know, again, I would never give up on, you know, how they give up
Yeah.
on people. It's ridiculous.
Well, and that's the thing, I think, why, you know, a lot of us that have these platforms or do these things, there's other people podcasts or just people reaching out, like helping people, right? It's because they've been through these hard times, you know, they've been through the pain, the traumas, and they know what it feels like to have that pain or to feel alone or to just, you know, try to unalive themselves or been through that, you know, and they don't want that on other people because it fucking sucks. Let's face it, man. Having those, it's hard, man. Life is hard,
I
you
would
know.
never
And
wish those types of feelings on my
hell
worst
no,
enemy.
man.
No.
You know. So, and that's why I think that a lot of people that do the things that we do, you know, and when I say we, I mean all the community that puts in the work,
Mhm.
you know, is because we at some point or some kind of trauma or something have been through something that we don't want people to go through that, you know, to help them. And you know, because it's a dark place at the end of the day. Let's face it, it's a dark place. I attempted to unalive myself, and I woke up in a coma 2 days later from the hospital. Tell
Yeah.
you, this is the best thing that ever happened to me, though. It made me the person I am today. And if I didn't have done that, you wouldn't be on this podcast, and Anthony wouldn't be on this podcast, and Raw Minds wouldn't even be existed. You know, and I'm not saying I'm like it's a great thing that I did it. No, but I'm glad that I did it because it gave me the experience. It gave me the knowledge to help other people, so we could stop them from doing those things.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to say that we have. So, you know, and it's never enough, and it will never be enough. You know, it
No.
will never be
I
enough.
mean, just having a platform like this, like you guys, you're saving one life at a time. Just someone to listen to you guys talking and just think, fuck, like
Yeah.
it's all right, it's all right, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with the stigma
Yeah.
of not being like us men not allowed to talk, or you know, it's frowned upon, or makes us appear weak. It doesn't. In fact, it shows true strength to be able to open up, talk, and say, look, I'm really fucking struggling here. You know,
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah.
You know, that is
Yeah.
that's strength. That's
Yeah.
what being a man's about. You know, doesn't matter
100%.
how tough things get. That's true strength in my
Yeah.
eyes.
It's okay
Absolutely.
to be.
So I
It's
just
okay not to be okay.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a song called that. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Mhm.
you know, that's some of the songs I write. You know,
Yeah.
like Warrior. You know, that's talking
Yeah.
about
Well, I
going
got
through the.
a video on and Anthony does too on our TikTok,
Yeah.
and I was at my most vulnerable spot, man, or state. I'm literally crying in my car, because I was going through a hard time. You know, I just got custody of my daughter. I was working 104 hours every 2 weeks, and then after getting custody, and it was an instant custody thing. I won't go too much into it right now, but it was instant custody. So my whole life, I I could only work for 4 hours a day because I had to take my daughter to school, and then I'd have to pick her up, and I work an hour away. So she goes to school at 9, and then I have to drive an hour. I get to work at 10, and then I have to leave at 2 to go pick her up for 3. And I was like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to be able to set my daughter up to be a winner, you know, have her the best, at the same time be able to pay rent? And I was just breaking down. And I was like thinking, like, you know what? The world has to see this. You know, I have a platform that people listen, and we talk about men's mental health, and I had to just video it and show that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel these. Just because we're men, yeah, we can still be the Rock. We can still be that strong person, but we also have feelings too.
It's not weak to speak. Is what I say all the time. It's never weak to speak.
And I'll
There it
just
is,
put this
Anthony.
out there I'll just put this out there very quickly. If you are struggling, the hardest thing that you're going to have to do is say, I need help.
Mhm.
That's the hardest thing. The rest of it is fucking easy because
It's-
the
it's a-
minute we say that, then you open the door for people like David and people like Eric and I to come in and offer you the help. But if you're not willing to accept it,
It's like being an addict. You know,
Yeah.
the first step of your recovery is admitting that you've got a problem. You know,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
it's the same with mental health. It goes hand in hand. You know,
Mhm.
it's, you know, you've got to be open to it to help or whatever.
Mhm.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can't see what's going on TikTok, but I think
Oh,
someone's gifted
yeah,
something
they
big.
did. Yeah. Do you want to ask the question, or do you?
I feel like
What do
he's
you
already
think?
put a few out there, but I'll ask it just so we can give
Yeah.
him the formal question. So at the
Yes.
end of every episode, David, I always ask people one question. What's your
Mhm.
message to the world in one sentence?
Again, it's not weak to speak. Yeah, open up. You've got to, you know, just it can be a friend, family member, a complete stranger, you know, a professional. It doesn't matter. You're struggling. Open up and speak. Open up and you just ask for help. You know, and then again, there'll be people there willing to listen. If you stop someone in the street and said, you know, I want to kill myself, that person would stop and speak to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
so yeah,
that's going on a hoodie, buddy. I'm just telling you, that's going on a hoodie. That's saying that's awesome.
Fuck yeah. I also want to say, David, first of all, thank you for coming on.
of course.
But you are doing more than you realize. Like, it's kind of like I said at the beginning, you know, like having you on is a big deal to us, but I know it's also a big deal for you to come on to see us.
Yeah, of course.
When you were talking earlier and you said like you're just an idiot with a TikTok live,
Yeah,
right? I don't
Yeah.
think you're an idiot. I think you're utilizing the things that you have in your toolkit as a superpower to do what you want to better other people's lives. And like you said, you've helped a lot of people off bridges and like metaphorical bridges. That's a big deal to you. I understand that. But you have to understand that that's a big fucking deal to those people. You literally
Yeah.
saved their lives. I have people in my life who've helped me without even realizing it. You know what I mean? Who've saved my life when to them it's not a big deal. And I'll make it even simpler, man. I am a window and door installer. So that's what I do for a job. I specialize in installing windows into people's existing homes. And I always lose sight of the fact that it's a big deal to these people because sometimes I'll show up at their house and they're fucking stoked that I'm there to change it. And to me, it's just another fucking day. I installed 40 windows this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to them, it's a really big fucking deal. So don't ever lose sight of how powerful and how big of a deal you are. Don't ever sell yourself short of who you are because you are an amazing human being. And what you're doing
Thank you.
is amazing.
Hell
So
yeah.
thank you.
I mean, I don't take you know, compliments too well, or you know, appreciation. You know, I struggle with that. People showing appreciation because again, it's just I'm just doing what I would want someone to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not. You know, I'm lending in here. You know, and I'm giving the best advice that I can. You know, I'll make phone calls for like on your behalf if I have to doctors or whatever, and just try and you know speak to people. I mean, we've got people that you know are sort of like in the you know we speak to their like I mean, Kate, like for instance, Kaylee, she speaks to someone care coordinator and things like that. We're on people's safety plans, you know, like where they're first people to call if they're in a crisis now. And sorry, what was that, babe?
Even helping people with the housing association.
Yeah, helping people move house with housing associations or councils and things like that. People in care, you know. And again, we do this all in our free time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I work, you know, 48 to 50 hours a week. You know, a full time job. So does my partner. So does all the other admins, and we do it all in our spare time. You know. And around family and kids, you know, and again, we don't charge a penny for it. And I suppose, like we'll have like Courtney. I think she's gifted me in this live. Like, you know, I tell them not to. I don't accept gifts in my life, but they still do it. Like, I just hate it. But you know, again, I don't. Again, I've never withdrawn money from TikTok ever, except from when we've done the charity lives, where we then have to send off the payment to the charity. You know, what I do is I'll use that and I'll go and give back to I think people that would deserve it on the app that
Yeah.
are doing good things, you
Yeah.
know.
We do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But some of the singers and stuff like that, I pop in and I'll drop a few gifts, and then
Paying
I'll
it forward, man.
those.
It's about paying it
But
forward and
yeah,
helping
it means
people.
a lot. She's saying that. I mean, yeah. What? Sorry, we've even put a pedophile away on online. Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
for you,
Yeah.
man.
Good for
Good
you.
for you.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Try to infiltrate our group. No, we caught you.
Good. Good.
But yeah, no, we yeah, I know what I've got behind me is you know, I'll say we are a small team, but we can be powerful, and I
David
know we
and
are.
Goliath, man. David and
Yep.
Goliath, bro. That's all I have to
Sorry?
say. David and Goliath.
Yeah,
You know what I
David and
mean?
Goliath. We are small,
Yeah.
but we are mighty, and you know, yeah, we are saving lives, and it is a powerful thing. But you know, and I'll never accept that. You know, it's great or anything like that, because I wouldn't have to be doing this if the proper systems and that were in place, you know.
100%.
But we will continue to do this until either the world actually gives a shit and changes, or you know, until I die. You know, I'm not going to stop until we've made a complete change. So
yeah. See, like I feel the same way. I have the same views. Like I just always feel like it's never enough, you know, and it won't be at the, you know. And like I was even telling Anthony the other day, it was like I just feel like there's more that we could do, and we're always like trying different avenues, and that's why we got a whole bunch of background stuff in the works in the bag. But it's a lot too, you know. I mean, there's only two of us, and we're just trying to.
we were going to look at things like merch, you know, bringing out our own mental health warrior hoodies and stuff like that. But then I've gone off that idea because I don't want to be selling a product to people. Okay, it's them showing support for the group, but I don't want to profiteer off anything to do with mental health. So we don't sell merch, you know.
But you could always put that back into the community again. So like,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
We could, but again, it's still, unfortunately, TikTok's a very toxic place, you know, and it will be no, it's not. He's pocketing it for himself, or things like that. You know, this is why we show receipts and we show where everything goes. You know,
which is disgusting because you shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, man, who gives a fuck about these guys? Who gives a fuck what these guys say about you? You know what I mean?
You're gonna have it no matter what you do, man.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, we were going to look at merch, but I've sort of gone. I'm going to put that on the back burner. I mean, I'm going to get the admin team all hoodies. You know, I'll pay for them myself. You know, and we'll have, you know, our little names on it and our little badge and stuff like that. It's like a uniform, I suppose. Maybe when we're fundraising, we might do like a limited offer on hoodies or t-shirts or something, and any sales of them hoodies will go directly to. It will go towards a charity or whatever, like tumblers. You know, we've got Sarah that makes candles. She wants to make candles and start selling them as, you know, mental health warrior branded candles and stuff. So we're, you know, but we that's on the back burner at the minute because obviously.
I just want to say, Sarah, you're listening. I would love.
Oh, she's listening.
I would love to throw some money
somewhere.
to do a custom Raw Minds hoodie. I mean, a Raw Minds candle. If we could make that happen sometime, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that.
You know,
support
I've
you.
got the album I've released. You know, I use like a distributor to send out my music. You know, I pay for that. And it puts it on Spotify, and it also puts it on iTunes, you know. And people go, well, how much is your album? I go, no, don't buy the fucking album. Don't buy it. Go and listen to it free on Spotify. You know, how many times have I said that? It's free on Spotify. What are you doing? Go and get it off that, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, anything to do with mental health, I don't want to profiteer off, you know. Yeah. Would I like to get to a point where I would be able to maybe pay for my admin's time, you know, like Sarah, Kaylee, like the hours they put in, you know, they're up at 3, 4 in the morning. Some mornings talking to people. Same as my partner Stacey, myself, and would I like to pay us a wage for doing that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it would have to come through a different way of means. I'd never take it off anyone
Not the people
that we're supporting or anything like that. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but again, that's we're
But
far away from that. At the
here's
moment.
the thing, too, though. You're supporting these people, right? You're helping them.
Yeah.
But them buying like a piece of clothing or a hoodie or a candle or what may it be, you know, that's their way of supporting you and saying thank you as well. You know, you gotta look at it that way too. And you can take that profit that you make and you can put that back in to a charity or a family that needs help or something like that, right?
Yeah,
You gotta. Someone made it like, because we were like that, but then someone put it in perspective. These people, you know, that's their way of thanking you, or they want to support, you know, and them walking around with your hoodie on, that, you know, with your logo, that's them supporting you, you know, and that's them thanking, you know. So
yeah,
I would sleep
I'm
on
not
that and
sure.
take a look, think
I'm not
about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. That like, we will look into it again down the road. Maybe for the next live event, if I can get a right supplier, a right design, and
Well, I can help you out with all of that, man, because we got some stuff in the background. I don't want to say too much, but we are dropping
we'll
some.
have a chat
some
after
swag.
then, yeah. But it's just,
I would love to help you out, man.
yeah,
I would.
yeah, and it's the same. If there's anything that we can do for you know, we're small, but we'll come in and support as much as we can.
Well,
Small
you know
but
what?
mighty.
It's gonna take not even a village, like I say, an empire. It's gonna take all of that. You know, all these groups at the end of the day, and this is what's crazy to me is everybody's got their own groups, and sometimes the people are like butting heads all the time, but we're all trying to do the same fucking thing at the end of the day. You know, just like,
I mean, believe it or not, this is a fucked up place. So, like, you know, like I said, there are other teams out there, and it's like some of them, it's like a competition.
yeah, it's fucking
Who's
ridiculous,
better and
man.
who's this and that. But like, there are some genuine ones out there. I mean, there's again, Mr. K, you know, TBK and Mr. K. You know, I generally do believe that man does do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And his team also do it for the right. They've got, like, you know, mums with send children, cancer survivors, and things like that. You know, but unfortunately, again, it's a twisted place where there's competition, and they'll come in and try and troll, and we've had people make up fake accounts pretending to be in a crisis, and then, like,
that's disgusting.
there's certain ways that I know how to manipulate TikTok sometimes, and I can see who's behind that account. I know what device it's logged into, and whose other accounts on that device. So I'm not stupid. So
see, like, how like what, like, this is for an example for addiction. People will say it's a disease. Other people say it's a choice. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, you guys, the disease or the choice, the outcome is still the fucking same. You want to stop it. You know what I mean? So we all got to get past that ego trip, or I'm this, or who's better, and just realize the end goal, come together, work together, and fix the fucking problem at the end of the day. That's what it's, that's the real goal. Yeah. Well, I'm man, I'm speechless. I can't thank you enough for the work that you and your family, and when I mean family, I mean your whole team, your family, all of you guys. Just amazing work. Amazing work what you guys are doing. You know, you guys are fucking people's angels out there. People's heroes. You know what I mean? You may not think it, but you are, you know. And
I'm just an idiot on TikTok.
Yeah, don't worry. We're just
give
two
yourself
idiots. Yeah.
Give yourself a little more credit, man.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
No,
but
you deserve
honestly,
it,
man.
I'll take that till I die. I'm just
And your whole team, man. And I wanted to say that Raw Minds family, we support you. We have your back. We will do whatever we can to help you guys if you guys need us. I mean, we do some of the same work that you guys do. I get pulled into people live. I talk to people. Depending on where they are, I'll find out where they are in the world, and I will get all the info that they need. If they need like
Yeah, I mean,
addiction or counseling.
we've had that, haven't we? I had a homeless person in Australia that had lost their companion, their best friend, you know, and
I know all that too well, man.
yeah, and they were in the same town where my mum lives. So I got my mum to phone up the hospital, and we got them into this place, and then they now they've been rehoused. They've got a new lease of life. They've now got a job, you know.
Awesome.
So
I'm gonna hook you up with a tool that I use, and it will help and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It'll give you all the information, and you can just copy that and send it to that person. And really, it's up to them to open the door. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink
can't
it.
make it drink. Yeah,
Exactly, right. But I will help you if you need. If you're interested, I'll give you the tools that I use to help, and hopefully you can benefit from them as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm quite happy to support you guys any way that we can as well. You know, we'll try and push your content out for you.
That'd be amazing.
Absolutely. You know, I'll share it into the Discord and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and we're on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Audible, Amazon, YouTube. We got an Instagram page. We got a Facebook page. We're on Twitch. We're actually on Twitch right now. We're on live Twitch, Facebook.
I don't even know how to use it. Do you know what? The only social I have, is TikTok and me iTunes and Spotify, and I've got YouTube Music, but I don't have access to any of them. My distributor will upload all my music for me, so they have control of the accounts. But you know, whatever goes on with that. They just they just put my music on there. So the only actual active social media where you can actually contact me on is on TikTok. You know, I've got a private Facebook account, but I'm not going to give everyone that.
No,
but I'm going to have to look at maybe trying to get.
David, I will help you if you need help with anything.
We've got resources for you, man.
Help me anyway. I've been reluctant to do it, but I should be more social. To be honest with you,
I'm a self-taught man. I taught myself to do all of this, everything.
This is how embarrassing I am with technology. It was my daughter that made my TikTok account.
Well,
that's all good, buddy.
That's all good.
My daughter made my TikTok account for me because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Well,
that's okay, man.
Kids nowadays, man, you know,
Shout
they
out
know
to
more.
Lacey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lacey.
Well, I think we had a great episode, man. I think it's great. I'm so proud to call you a brother. You know, I'm proud to
absolutely
have you on this podcast and to be a part of your journey as well. You know, this is part of your journey, and I'm proud to you be a part of our journey and being episode 21. And hopefully that your story will resonate with one of our listeners in one of these amazing countries that we're in. And it gives them an insight of, you know, life is precious, you know, and it's worth living.
Yeah.
And also addiction and all that.
I just want to say to the listeners as well, if you are listening and you are going through something and you know, you can resonate with me or you just want to have a chat, just, you know, drop me a TikTok inbox message, you know, and I'll be straight on there, and I'll obviously we'll swap numbers or anything like that, and we'll have a chat. We'll do it over Discord or anything like that. Or if you're a female and you only want to speak to a female, I'll get you in touch with one of the female admin, you know, because obviously we understand that, you know, some people are more comfortable with other people, and the same goes to you guys as well. If you guys ever need a chat, you've got my details. Just drop me an email.
Perfect.
You know, drop me a message on TikTok. I'm there. I'm there for it.
Well, maybe we can work together here. We're on this side of the pond, so we can help you take care of anything on this side of the pond, and you're on that side of the pond, and we can work together and share resources and help people that need help. So maybe we can work together somehow in that way.
Absolutely. Love that. I love that.
Yeah, perfect.
Definitely.
So this is awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. And if we do have any listeners and you are interested in coming on the podcast, you can do exactly what David has done and shoot us an email at rawmindspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll get in touch with you. It's changing soon, but for right now, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And just shoot us an email, give us some details about your story and what you want to talk about. And same thing, like David had said, if you're struggling and you just want to have a chat again, just shoot us a message and we can get in contact with you. Again, David, thank you so much for coming on, man. What a wonderful episode. Shout out to you and your entire family for doing what you do, and thank you for doing what you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Very
Absolutely.
pleasure. Thank you. And don't forget, check them out. Check them out. All those socials will be in the description.
Go
Yes.
listen to my songs.
Yes, listen to his songs. They're bangers.
yeah.
I promise you.
I mean, I could play one for you if you want me to play you one.
You know what? Let's run out this Let's run out this podcast with one of your songs, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
Let's do it.
What one would you? What one do you want? Do you want a Minute Wealth one, or do you
Your
want
favorite, brother. We want your favorite, man.
my favourite? He's one about my dad.
If you're comfortable about that
Yeah,
one,
Jack,
man. If you're comfortable.
Okay. So this is called "Remember You." So this is for anyone that lost a loved one. It's to do with grief, and it's to you don't remember the bad times, just remember the good times. So just remember you.
Memories fade way too fast. In my heart, you'll always last. Silent whispers and in the air. Though you're gone, you're always there. Days are long, nights seem cold. Wishing you were here to hold. In the stars I see your light, guiding me through darkest night. Days are long, nights seem cold. Wishing you were here to hold. In the stars I see your light, guiding me through darkest night. We'll remember you in every little thing we do. Your love lives on inside of me. In our hearts you'll always be. Songs we sang feel like dreams, echoes of what might have been. Photos keep you in my mind, moments lost in sense of time. Though you left this world one day, in my soul you'll always stay. Every smile, every tear, your spirit will grow ever near. We'll remember you in every little thing we do. Your love lives on inside of me. In our hearts you'll always be. Though you left this world one day, in my soul you'll always stay. Every smile, every tear, your spirit will grow ever near. We'll remember you in every little thing we do. Your love lives on inside of me. In our hearts you'll
Such a beautiful song. Actually, can you send me that? I will
It's
play.
It's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
just
So, if
Remember
you
You
can.
by Mental Health Warrior.
Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual song and I will be putting that in there so it's better quality and we'll have it nice and dialed in for you, man. So
Lovely.
thank you for that, and thank you for making that song. It was very, very touching and precious. I appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Precious.
Thank you.
Well,
That's phone. Sorry.
no, you're good, man. Well, on that note, I just want to say again, thank you, man. I appreciate you, all the family.
Appreciate you too.
We are on TikTok Live. We do TikTok Live, guys, every Monday, but today is Saturday. We were with this beautiful human being, David. He's in the UK, so we're doing it Saturday today. And the gifts that you guys are throwing him, he amazing. You know, he's this guy. This guy is top shelf. David, you are top shelf. Your community is top shelf. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate the viewers. Thank you guys, everybody, for supporting him and us. And we're going to keep on doing this over and over and over again. So thank you.
Thank you.
There you guys.
All right. Take it easy.